Okay, I'll trade you, Mom. Thank you, Jay. You're a lifesaver. Do you want Paul to record? I'm gonna have him help me. Hydrocortisone. Real quick. Can you take this? Well, that does not feel secure, but go on. Good girl. Oh my gosh, this is so much better. Come on, pretty girl. Well, ugh. Oh, is that Molly?
That's me.
Hi.
Hello.
We kind of have a discombobulated day, so we're covered in tree sap and dust, but
Oh, gee.
it's quiet in here at least. So,
Yes, and I cannot see it on the camera, so there.
okay, Mom's setting up the court. Mo and I are doing the serpentines.
Ribbon candy. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
573 loop serpentine, as I call it.
yeah.
Those turns can be even smaller.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
her.
like nose to tail. Yeah, you're really trying to get
Good
her to
girl.
bend through the rib cage. The pivo's not tracking, so if you go any
Okay,
farther to your left, you'll cut out.
okay. I'll stay in this.
Yes, that's still too big.
Oop. Okay.
You're like, really? Nose to tail.
Here we go.
You should be able to. Yes,
Good girl.
there, good. So I think of it like a carrot stretch at the walk.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
really,
Yeah. See how that weighs so hard, huh?
yeah.
Ooh,
I've
I
been,
have control of the pivo, so I can turn it.
oh, good. Yeah, I clicked another button, so I'm glad that's,
And it zoom is a new feature. I can zoom in and out.
oh,
That's a new
good
feature.
girl. Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
All the King's excellent horses consistently migrate before fall.
Wow.
So that's the only way I can,
Wow. I have to go like, let's see. I usually sit at M, which is over near C, and that diagonals MXK. And that means that HXF is the opposite diagonal, and I have no idea where E and B are. And Richard comes in at the gate because there was a guy named Richard at one of the barns, and there was a gate there.
oh, that's
I mean,
funny.
I don't know the letters.
That is really funny. Hey, that worked. That sounds
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
rattled them pretty good.
Well, no, I only have a few of them. Yeah. So everything, like when I learn a test, it's like the second letter in front of the judge, by the gate. I don't know the letters. Oh, that was good. That one was soft, huh?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
felt better.
Yeah, that's what we want to feel. You want to feel like it's not difficult for her to make that. There you
Good
go. Good.
girl.
Yeah, so leave those alone. So what I usually do with that ribbon candy is I do it until they start to feel fluid, and then I just
Hmm.
move on.
Okay.
And then I want them to get easier through the course of a week or a month. Oops,
Okay.
oops. Apparently I don't. There we go. Camera doesn't want to follow you. I don't know why it's not following. I have to
Uh,
do all of the panning.
I think we might need to update our.
It should just do it automatically.
Oh, like a phone update? That
Oh no, the
makes
phone one
sense.
you have to do. Yeah. Yeah. I pan the wrong way every time. Come on, follow. There it is. Okay, so how's it been going with her?
Um, well, I just got back from a family trip. We went to Australia for a week. So this is
Fun.
only my second time back on her since I last saw you. Um,
Okay.
Mom's been on her a handful of times, and Mom said she was doing excellent. Yeah, excellent while we were gone. So
That's
no
so
new
nice. You can
news.
help each other out like that.
Yeah, it really is.
So let's do some leg yields with her while you're walking.
Okay.
And we want to start thinking of using the leg yields to bring her a little bit rounder.
Okay.
So my walk work in the beginning is usually like I think the hardest part of the ride.
I would believe that.
Yeah, yeah, because I really think about trying to get them moving all the parts of their body in all of the places. Yeah, use a little bit more of your outside rein. There you, yeah, exactly. You should
Good
feel
girl.
more like you're asking her to, there it is. You should feel more like you're asking her to back up than you are asking her to move over.
Okay.
You should
That's
feel the rein back aid. Elbows to your hip bones. Elbows, both elbows. There you go. That's fine. Turn it into a turn on the forehand off your right leg until you feel her lift her withers and come rounder. Because really, leg yield is just a turn on the forehand. Keep doing it. She hasn't lifted her withers and
yeah.
got round yet. You can do 100 of them in a row. So don't think about it's a half turn or a whole turn. You keep turning until you feel her balance. And there it's starting to improve. Keep her in it. You want to stop her shoulder a little more with your left rein. Yeah, we got to get her to cross that right hind. She's opening her left hind, but she's not crossing enough the right hind. So that's your left rein stopping the shoulder. Flex that arm. Yeah, that's fine. Both legs if she slows down, and then you just put her right back in the. Yes, exactly. That's fine. Both legs, and then turn on the forehand. And you can cluck. Right leg more back so that you're telling the haunches to move over. There you go.
Good
Yes,
girl.
yes, yeah, yeah, exactly. Left rein. Point toward that big garage door, and then leg yield off your right side. The same aid as the turn on the forehand. You keep telling her, don't take big steps to the end of the ring. Keep the front end back here. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yep, both legs. Both legs. Got to keep the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn a
Okay.
little early. Turn a little early and leg yield off the same side. Yep. Yep, both legs. Both legs. There you
Good
go. Feel
girl.
that? Yeah,
That
really good.
right
And then,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you leg yield again. Outside rein. Think about you're trying to back her up. You want to stay on the same side.
Oh, you want me
Keep
to go
moving
off
her.
the right?
Yep.
Okay.
Get the one side good before you go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, there,
Good girl.
there. Good.
Good
Now pet
girl.
her and give her a little break from that, right? So
Okay.
that if you just bounce her to the other side, then you change the balance to the other side, and she's going to be like, wow, that was really hard. But if you go, look, you get a little break afterward, and I tell you how good you are, then she'll try to do it like that the next time.
Okay.
And okay, and then you'll put her back together, and then we'll do the leg yield off the left side. Like my horse, I'll go off the right side and off the left side. He's a pre-St. George horse.
Mm,
But a second level horse, I'm going to work on one side, and then I'm going to work on the other side because I'm still trying to make it better. You need a little more right rein, both legs, both legs, both legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Marching, marching, marching. Yep, yep. And we'll turn left, left, yep. And try and be turning a little early so you're not quite against what your rail is. Walk on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Walking, walking, and then leg yield away from the camera. Left leg back. Bend your knee. There, yeah. Bend your knee more. There you go. Yeah. Feel the difference?
that does
That's
feel
good there.
easier.
Yeah, yeah. And then pet her. Tell her how good she is. So if your leg is at the girth, you're telling her to bend. You're
Okay.
bending her in the rib cage. If you bring your leg back, you're telling the haunches to be more active in a sideways manner. And so I think the leg yield is named wrong. It's not that the horse is yielding off your leg, it's that they are yielding their legs across the arena.
That does
Okay, so
make
if you think,
sense.
oh, yeah, so if you think, oh, you're not sideways enough and you put more leg on, then they're just going to bend around more. You have to make more half halt and more forward feeling to help them think about then engaging the inside hind leg in a way that would take them to the side. So if
Okay.
they're going too much down the arena, you need more half halt, not more push to the side. All right?
Okay.
So we're going to put her a little rounder, make a small circle like 10-ish meters. Think about getting her to come into both reins. Like here, you need some outside rein. You could even think a little spiral out feeling there so that you get her into that outside rein.
Do you want me to stay on the
Yeah.
circle?
No, we'll go straight ahead and then do a little shoulder in. So it's going to feel like you want to start a circle and then you make a half halt like you want her to back up. And you want to look down the rail instead of at her head. That's it. There it is. Yeah. Then think, what would a back up feel like? Just keep the hind legs walking. And it's like you're backing the front end up onto the hind end. Yeah. Think about, could I turn? Walk on. Could I rein back feeling? Yes. That's really
Good
good. You feel
girl.
that?
That felt
Yeah,
better.
give her a little scratch. That was really good. I like that. Yeah, good girl. Okay, the next one we're going to do a haunches in. So you make a small circle in the corner
Okay.
and just work on getting her supple and bending and make sure you feel organized with both reins. So to me, the haunches in always feels over bent. It always feels like there's a ton of bend. You're going to have your weight in your inside stirrup. You're going to bend your outside knee. You're going to bend her in the neck a lot. Look up the rail. She's looking at the camera. She should look down the rail. Yeah, she should almost feel like she's looking at your mom because she's looking at the
Oh, wow.
camera right now. Yeah, there you go. Because the neck, there it is, the neck has to be parallel to the long wall. Yeah. So a haunches in, sorry, tractor. A haunches in is the last stride of a 10-meter circle. There you go. Good. Think of a rein back feeling. Get back on your haunches, lady. There you go. There you go. And then let her go straight. And we'll do a 10-meter half circle left to a 10-meter half circle right to change your direction. And we'll do the shoulder in and the haunches in the other way. So I think I mentioned this once before. If we have a horse that's a first level horse, it's because they're first level in the canter. They should be second level in the trot and third level in the walk.
Oh, cool. I did not know that. It's okay, Momo. I know.
Uh-oh. Oh,
It's all
honey.
right.
Oh.
It's okay.
Uh-oh.
It's all right.
Oh.
It's okay.
There
Oh,
we go. Oh,
Cameron.
no.
Hey. It's okay. It's
Because it
okay,
is so not
everybody.
okay right now. It is so not okay.
It's okay. Sorry, Molly. I couldn't quite hear you. I
It's
was
all
just
right.
waiting on him to settle.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's all right. He doesn't need to break his halter and run around loose.
No.
Yeah.
Our wind is about 24 miles an hour, which we started the afternoon outside thinking we could power through it and like threw him in the trailer and came down here at the last second.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That was a good job, Mo.
Yeah. We'll just go over here. Good
Yeah,
thinking. Oh, buddy. Yeah, I don't hear any of the wind. It
that's
sounds quiet.
great. Everybody did good though. Okay, so we're
Yeah.
headed uh
Yeah, we're heading toward the camera and we'll do a shoulder in. Take your time if you want to do another small circle and get to where you're feeling organized.
yeah, good, Mo. Good girl.
Can you ask your mom to tilt the phone down a small amount when she gets near it?
Paul, could you tilt the phone down? I don't know if he's got it. You're fine,
Oh,
Mo.
is he
You're
near the
fine.
camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just tilt down a little bit because the brightness through the perfect, perfect.
Good girl. That's
Yep,
perfect, Paul.
super. Yep, thank you.
Good
When I
girl,
zoom
Mo.
in, the lighting over that wall over your left, it makes you pitch black. This is
Oh,
really good now.
you're fine, Mo.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna bend. We're
She
gonna
says,
bend and
"Oh,
go
I have to be
forward.
all nervous now." Yep. And now, what would a rain back feel like? Looking down the rail, and you kind of think, "I'm going to back you onto your hind leg, and now I'm going to send you forward." I'm going to think about turning you. Yep. Turning feeling with the left rein, left leg. Yep. Yeah. And then forward feeling. And then backing up onto the hind end feeling. So you're kind of juggling those around all the time. Yep. And
You're fine.
want if they want to creep out toward the middle of the arena, that's actually what we want to see happen
Oh, okay.
because it means that they've turned the shoulder. And then we give them the rein back aid. And if
Okay.
they're creeping toward the middle of the arena, it also says they've come a little bit off the hind end. So we'll do the small circle and then a haunches in.
Okay.
Um, if they're crawling back toward the letters, they're
Hmm.
behind the leg and you're probably pushing them sideways. So this is another thing, you don't want to be pushing her sideways in the shoulder in. You want to be turning. The haunches in, it's the same thing. You get a lot of bend in the neck and you're walking straight down the rail, but she's got her butt to the inside. But you're walking straight down the rails. Think of the front legs as going straight, the neck parallel to the wall, which means it's going to feel like it's bending. Yep, there you go. Yep, right rein is your main aid, left leg is your main aid. Yeah, just turn her nose when she gets fussy.
Okay.
Yeah, this was the harder turn in the serpentine. There you go. Yep, turn her neck more. She's looking at the mounting block. She should be looking at where your mom was tied. There you go. Good girl. Yeah, now we'll leg yield all the way across the arena.
Okay.
So you're
Um,
aiming for the middle of the long wall, E or B,
okay.
whichever it is. E or B is what you're aiming for. So you have to really think back up, back up, back up. Yes, atta girl. Right rein, back up. Yep. There you go. Look at that. You probably didn't
Good
think you could
girl.
go that much sideways. Yeah,
No, good
back
girl.
up. B's behind you. Say back up onto the hind leg. There it is. There it
Good
is. There it is. See how
girl.
much more
Good
sideways she's
girl.
going?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a little shoulder in, just a few strides of it so that you have control of the shoulder. Yes, good. And then we'll do the same thing off of your right side.
Okay, so I turned the wrong. Oh,
You go
it's
straight
okay.
ahead, and when you get to H, you'll leg yield across the arena. You're aiming for B, E, the middle of the long wall. That's a little too much neck bend. Use your left rein, left elbow back. Her steps are too big toward A. She needs to have a rein back feeling. Yeah, both reins. Say back up here. Yep. Her shoulder needs to come to the left, so take your hands left. There you go. See how she was leading a little with the haunch?
Yeah.
Yep. Back her up onto the hind end. Yes. Yes. There
Good
you go. Good
girl.
girl. You
Good
feel it,
girl.
huh?
Yeah.
Now a little shoulder in. Turn her shoulders toward A. And then walk on down the rail. Don't look at A, look at your corner letter. Look at K. There it is, because that's where you're going. That's your line of travel. That's it. Good. Yeah.
Good
There you
girl.
go. Good. Give her a little scratch for that. Give her a short mental break, and then we'll do some trot work. So, see, you get all that hard stuff done up front. The rest of your ride seems easy. But we want to do physically the hardest stuff early on while the horse's body is still fresh.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, so I think of the walk work like the yoga. And then I want to get a little bit of warm up trot, maybe a little bit of warm up canter. And then I want to do their bodybuilding. And then I want to do easy things like their basics and make those better until I've done all my horse's cardio. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to come into your trot. And what I'd like to do is we'll do a 20-meter circle at the end, at the middle, and at the other end, and then we'll change your direction. So we
Okay.
want to get 3 circles to the right using the length of the ring. So if you start at B, it would be 20 meters at B, 20 meters at A, 20 meters at E, and then we'd change the direction.
Okay.
But in the perfect world, I'd like an A, an E, and a C. Yep. Big forward trot, cover the ground. Cover the ground. Yep, 20 meters there. Think about inside leg, inside rein to get the bending. Look between her ears. If you cannot see where you're going, she's not bending. Right? If you're looking around the circle and you can't see her ears, she's not looking around the circle. Right, now we go straight ahead and you'll circle one time in the middle. Big trot. Cover the ground. Yep, right leg, right rein. Right leg, right rein. Give her a little tap with your right leg. Yeah, there you go. See how she had no bending?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And again, a little tap with your right leg. Yeah, her right hind leg needs to be more active. Her ribs need to be more bending, and she needs to look more where she's. There you go. There you go. Feel that?
That
Yeah,
feels
keep a
better.
little bit of sense. Yeah, keep a little bit of sense of the bend on the straightaway. 20 meters at C. Right leg, give her a little tap. Say, get off me. If you squeeze with that inside leg, it'll be a training wheel. Give her a little tap and say, get off me. Yep, no training wheels. Exactly. And now we're going to go across the diagonal. This is the warm-up I do most days. Just make a nice forward trot on the diagonal line. Don't worry if she loses her frame. Big forward trot. Cover the ground. Come on.
Are we pooping?
Oh, we
Yes.
have to poop. Yep.
Oh, it's convenient for Mo.
And
Oh,
forward to trot. She's done.
okay. Big trot.
Right back to work. Yep. And we'll do one circle at A, one circle at E, one circle at C. Now she's got a bend in the rib cage, right? That's why the head goes up. Is because she's not on your outside rein, because her neck is turned, but her ribs aren't turned. Use that left leg, and then your right hand down to the front of your saddle. Yep, yep. Send her forward. That's fine. If she breaks into canter, go with it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. They break into the canter in the beginning like this because they're either stiff or out of balance, or they're bulking a little bit. They're sucking back. And so if she breaks into the canter, just go forward with her and take your time.
Okay.
Find that outside rein. She turns her neck a little bit too good this way. So you have to use more right rein and keep her straighter. There you go. And then send her forward. Twice this trot. Twice this trot. Yes, exactly. And use that outside rein again. Yep. Right hand down to the front of the saddle pad. There it is. Right? Almost like your fingers keep touching that saddle pad because she kind of pulls that hand forward. More trot. More trot. That's fine. And then we'll go across the diagonal. Use that right rein to turn her shoulder and more trot. More. More. Come on, there's more. There you go. You feel her loosen up in the shoulder? That's
Yeah.
your trot.
That's a
Okay, we'll
cool.
do those. I know. Let's do those 3 circles again. But I want her to trot like she did on the diagonal. Okay, so if you can only get it on the straightaways between the circles, that's okay. But don't accept the little trot on the circle. Try to get more trot on the circle. Yeah, every time you feel her connect into your hand, like right there, you say trot on. Yeah. And then you get her to bend in the ribs. That's good there. And she's nice in your hand. And then you say trot on. Let's go, honey. Come on. Yep, let's go. That's fine. Go with her. Go forward. Work on the bending and quietly come back to trot now. Because I feel like if you pull back on them and try to trot when they're breaking to canter, then you just make them tighter. That's fine. Bend her and go forward. She still has to bend though. And then quietly back to the trot. Push her a little sideways from your right leg. A little sideways. This is part of warming up. She's saying I'm at my maximum. Circle again and push her off your right leg until she breaks to trot. Like think of the turn on the forehand. There you go. And then go forward. Right? You see how when you bring her back to trot, everything shuts off?
Yeah.
And that's because she's not actually forward when she's picking up the canter. Across the diagonal, big trot. Keep the contact. She should be in right bending still. It should be new diagonal, new bend, new direction. Okay? And then we do the 3 circles. She bends her neck too good this way, so you have to use some right rein. And yep, that's fine. Use your right rein. Your right rein. Right leg with your right rein. Yeah, there you go. And send her forward from your right leg. Yeah, use that right leg to send her forward. Yep, let's go.
That feels a lot
Make it
better,
happen.
right?
Yeah, she's good in your hand, but her trot's still too small. Think of that right rein and use that little bit of right leg. Little tick tick with your right leg. Little kick kick. That's fine. Little kick kick. There you go. See how that helps her turn her shoulder?
One more time, Molly.
You feel how that helps her turn her shoulder when you
Oh,
use that outside leg and outside rein?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So when she bends her neck too good in this direction, she's also bending her haunches too much to the inside. So she's
Oh,
stiff in the bending. And so when you use the outside leg with the outside rein, you straighten her out a little bit through that shoulder. More trot. Yeah, that connection, and then the diagonal and more trot. Let's go. Double time. Yeah, more than that. There you go. That's her working trot. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Bend her to the inside, push her off your inside leg, push her sideways until she chooses to come back to trot. There you go. And then you go with her. Nice big forward trot. Bigger. Bigger. That's fine. Bend her. Yep, bend and push. Yep, go straight to your next circle if you want. It doesn't matter. Push her sideways. Yes, and now go forward with her. Both legs. Yeah, both legs. And then you take the anxiety away too, right? Yeah, see, if you
right.
just bend and push, yeah, see, then it's not such a big deal. If you pull her back every time she canters, she gets afraid to canter, right?
Oh,
That's your
yeah.
trot. That's your trot. You feel how it's a little freer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's your trot.
feel like I'm really
That's your
going to the
trot.
outside.
Little bit because she's starting to bend, but she's not good enough in her rib cage, and so she's rolling her withers to the outside. So we'll go straight ahead and we'll do one more diagonal. Skip your end circle. We'll do one more diagonal forward, and then we'll take a little walk break, and I'll tell you what's going on.
Okay.
Use your outside rein because I think you need a little breather. Big forward trot. Right bending. Right bending. She's still on the old direction till she gets to the new corner. Yes. Now new diagonal, new bend, new direction. And then when she's in your hand, we'll do a walk transition. So when the horses are bending, because they don't have a collarbone, what happens is they can roll their rib cage to the outside when they bring their neck to the inside. And they do that so they don't have to engage the inside hind leg and stretch through the body. So a
Oh,
horse that's not laterally supple enough is going to roll that rib cage so the wither points to the outside. So that's why you're feeling yourself fall to the outside in both directions, but the other way it feels way worse.
yeah.
And so, yeah, and so it's a lack of suppleness that she has in her body, and the amount of collection that a horse can give is directly related to the amount of suppleness they have. So if she's supple enough to trot a 10-meter circle and it's the same in both directions and it's correct, she's ready to start collection at the trot. So you
Oh,
feel on a 20-meter circle, she doesn't have the suppleness to bend correctly on 20 meters, so she won't give you any collection yet.
okay.
All you can do is get her off the forehand in a level balance, but to ask for collection, it won't happen because the mechanics, in order to bend correctly to the side, they have to step more under with the inside hind leg, which automatically lowers the pelvis slightly. So it starts the mechanics of collection. So if they're not bending properly, they're not using the mechanics that are required to create collection.
That does make
So
sense that way.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why suppleness comes before straightness, which comes before collection. And by straightness, we don't mean that they're straight like an arrow. By straightness, we mean that the horse is actually equally supple on the left side and the right side, and you have control of their body parts. That's what we mean by straightness. Because when we talk
Okay.
about, like when you circle 10 meters and
Mm-hmm.
we say that they're crooked or not bending enough, really what we're meaning is that they're not straight on the circle. Following the tracks of the circle line is straightness for that movement. When you're doing a half pass and we talk about straightness, it's about having the proper alignment to match the movement. It doesn't mean straight like a line on a piece of paper.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. A lot of people think straightness means like a line on a piece of paper. All right, so we're going to do this same pattern with canter.
Okay.
Okay? So if you want to canter the whole thing, you can canter the whole thing. If you want to canter only the circle, canter only the circle. If you want to canter only the straightaways, then do only the straightaways. It's completely up to you. If you choose to canter across the diagonal, I
Mm-hmm.
want you to either canter the entire diagonal and break to trot when you get to the end of the diagonal, or I want you to do a change of lead through trot over X.
Okay.
Your choice.
Okay.
Okay, and the reason for that is if you canter the entire diagonal and you break to the trot at the end just before you make the corner, it'll
Uh-huh.
kind of hit home why you keep the same bend as the corner that you had turning onto the diagonal because you need it to hold your lead.
Oh.
And that's how so that's how we ride it in the trot. If you do an extended canter across the diagonal, you stay like on the left lead until the end when you collect and then do a lead change. So we would stay in the left bend until you collect and then make the corner, regardless of what gate you're in. We don't change the bend at X. We have another one.
I guess.
That one's really loose. It's an icky one.
Uh-oh. There's been lots of
She's done. Yep.
nerves.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because those were
Okay.
both full size. Okay, so
Oh,
you
thank you.
pick where you trot and where you canter. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
If she feels good and you want to canter the whole thing, you can canter the whole thing. If she feels
Okay.
like she's getting crooked or she's not paying attention and you want to make a trot transition, make a trot transition.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But we'll do the 3 circles and the diagonal line.
Okay. So I'm okay to go ahead and
Yeah,
start?
whenever you're ready. Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll start with a little bit of trotting, and then when you feel like you have her back in your trot work, then you add your cantering.
Okay.
Good girl. That was very good to your
Good
hand.
girl. Good girl.
All right, we're going to redo that transition. You had your legs on for like 5 strides to pick up a trot.
Yeah.
Use your outside rein. She bends too good in the neck this way. So take your right elbow and put it right next to your side and stretch up and ask 1 time, 2 time, and she should be trotting. There shouldn't be a 3rd step or a 4th step of asking.
Okay.
There you go. And big forward trot. Because otherwise we call that a progressive transition. Use that outside rein. Control that shoulder. Yeah, make sure your reins are equal length. Your outside hand touching that saddle pad. Bigger trot. Come. Yep, bigger trot. Think about trot and canter should be the same speed. Yep, use that outside rein. Even if you have to do a little counter bend, remember what we did last time? You can do a little bit of counter bend if you,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
exactly. Right? That
Yeah.
made her really supple. Yeah, there, she's lovely right now. Yeah, think about a little bit of counter bend. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. A little bit of counter bend. Find that right side. Yeah, bend her to the outside. Right leg, right rein. There you go. Now come back to your true bend. Yeah, and then a tiny bit of outside bend again. Break the cycle, right? If you do a half a circle and she doesn't feel better, then you need to change a little bit the language, right? You don't need to change the topic. That's good. But you can change the language a little bit, how you're saying it to her, right? We need you to be rounder. Are you soft on the right side? That's fine. Are you soft on the left side? Do you come forward? Are you soft on the right side? There you go. Yes. Are you soft on the left side? And we'll pick up the canter again. Are you soft on the right side? The right side. That's a no. Is she soft on the right side? Right leg, right rein. Use the outside aids. Yeah, push her where you want her to go instead of pull her. Push her over there. Yes, right leg. Yes. And then back to your true bend. Yeah, and then try your canter again. We'll circle there again since it didn't quite happen. You see how you have to become the wall on the outside of her. There you go. Yes, exactly. You feel that?
Good girl.
That
This feels
controlled her.
better.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
up.
that controlled her shoulder. Yeah, look
Yeah.
up. You
Good
have to be
girl.
the wall on the outside of her. Yeah, and then you go forward. So this is what we don't want to do is we don't want to get stuck circle, 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 circle. So come across the diagonal.
Okay.
It's not about making it perfect the first time through. I think it's very hard for horses to go from a straight line to a circle, and I think when you stay on the same circle, that's beautiful. And now new diagonal, new bend, new direction, and then new gait. Yeah, into your canter. I think when they stay in the same circle, round and round, it's easy for them to brace in the wrong way and get stuck there. Yeah, could she do a tiny bit of outside bend? Yeah, and then back to the true bend. You don't even need that much counter bend. You just almost need to connect her to the outside aids. Let your hips swing more. Try not to tuck your bottom on the forward swing. Do you feel you kind of tuck? You change the shape of your low back. That's okay. Don't worry about that. That was you thinking about your seat. Take your time and organize. Use that outside rein. And when you're ready, canter again on this circle. Bigger trot. Bigger trot. Yeah. There you go. See how it's easier to canter if she's trotting with some power? That's fine. And we'll go across the diagonal. Trot or canter. It doesn't matter to me. Yep. Find your outside rein. She goes, oh, I know what diagonals are for now. Whee! We want that. Okay. And canter again. And I want you to think about your hip is you should swing. Don't worry about it. Take your time. Take your time. We need counter canter later. Don't worry about it. And then quietly come back to trot. And then when you're ready, you just canter again. It doesn't matter. It never bothers me when that happens. Yeah, use that outside rein. Yeah, think of your outside rein as lowering her neck. Play a little on that right rein. Get that right ear down. Yeah, it doesn't have to always be the counter bend. Just use that rein. Kind of blocks you on that right side. Yeah. And then think about your hips swinging across the saddle, sliding on the saddle. Yeah, that's it. Use that right rein. See how the ear twists? The right rein will lower that higher right ear. Play on that right side. Play, play, play. Across your diagonal. Have left bending for the diagonal line, but play on that right rein. That's all right. Yeah. And then your trot transition. That's fine. Right? It's hard to do, but you need that later on. We train for the Grand Prix, not to be the best training level rider in the barn. Good girl. Good for you. Right? So you have to start playing with stuff like that. It's just a straight line, but it's a straight line across the diagonal of the arena, and it's amazing how hard that is to do because we're so used to staying parallel to the walls. So it's fun to kind of play around with that. There you go. Swing your hips. Swing. Slide on the saddle. Slide, slide, slide. Yeah, there you go. Pull her hind leg forward with your seat. There you go. See how you have to follow her back a little more?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you could actually, yeah, and then you could actually shorten your reins just a tiny bit. Yeah, and then when bigger trot, yep. Follow with the saddle. If you watch her on the lunge line, her saddle has a lot of motion. You have to follow that motion. That's fine. Good girl. And then across that diagonal in the canter. Just look up, find your line. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She has to learn to steer. Atta girl. Good for you. And then we
Girl.
just want to trot. We just want to trot before you start turning the new way, right? Now,
Yeah.
use that right rein. Use that right leg, right rein. Yeah, she can be bent left and you use the right leg, right rein, but you see how much she just doesn't like that right rein. Yeah, there you go.
Good to know.
Good. Yeah, keep using that right leg, right rein. Yeah, almost the feeling like you're going the other direction, huh?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, and then your canter. Right leg, right rein. That's fine, it doesn't matter. Take your time. Yeah, right leg, right rein. And then quietly trot and canter again, right away.
Good girl.
That's it. Yeah, I find if you do it quick like that, they're usually really agreeable with changing to the correct lead. Now look at those ears, right leg and right rein. Little tap with your right leg. Quicken her right hind leg. Yes, her right hind leg is too slow. That's it. Play on that right rein. She can be bent left with you working the right bit a little bit. Yeah, move that right bit. Sorry, honey, we got to get you softer over here. Yeah, right
It's
leg.
all right.
There you go. Good for you. Good job. There, you got it now, though. You feel it?
Good
Yeah, you
girl.
kind of got to get through that crookedness. There you go. Much better diagonal. Good. And then stay trotting when you trot. Get her nice and soft to the right side, and then we'll make a walk transition. And we'll let her catch a short breather. But so you feel in the canter, one of the things you're doing is your pelvis is changing between, you've done yoga before?
Yeah.
Okay, you're doing cat, cow, cat, cow. You're changing the shape of your low back and where your pelvis is sitting on the horse because you're arching a little and then rounding a little. You're kind of tucking your bottom underneath you when you
Uh-huh.
should just be sliding across the saddle forward. Okay? So what we want to feel is that you have a neutral spine
Okay.
when you're swinging with the horse. If you
Okay.
want her to be more forward, you come into cat while you swing with the horse. If you
Okay.
want her to gather, you come into cow while you swing with the horse.
That makes so
Okay?
much sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
kind of tucking into cat during the forward swing, and then you're pitching into cow when she should be low in the front end and the backward swing should be coming.
Okay.
Right? And so that's telling her stop, go, stop, go, stop, go.
Okay.
Right? So she's actually got enough go. So you want to feel a little bit like you have a slight gather. So you want to be a little bit in cow, a slight little curve to your low back. And you want to feel that as you're swinging in the canter, your hip is making a circle, but your posture is staying in that same little bit of cow. So your hip is going to slide
Oh.
forward. You're going to tap your thigh block with your thighs.
Hmm.
That'll lift you up in the stride and then bring you back in the stride, and then you slide forward. But the whole time, you're going to have a tiny little arch in your low back. So
Okay.
you're just going to focus on, I'm going to arch my low back a little and let her push my hips.
Okay.
You're going to feel loose in the saddle because you're used to holding a little bit in your seat by
Yeah.
pulling her backward, going between cat and cow. So
Yeah.
instead, I just want you to stay in the collection seat, but following her. So the difference between a collected canter and a working canter is the balance. It's not the speed. So if you're trying to slow her down, you're giving her leverage to stay on the forehand. So what you want to feel instead is that you're helping her find the balance to lift the wither and sit behind. And
Okay.
that comes from your posture. It doesn't come from taking her back. You could think a little bit of the rein back. When you do a rein back, you're going to arch your low back a little and push your crotch down into the saddle. And you're going to close your thigh a little bit. That's the gathering seat.
Okay.
right?
And
You feel that?
yeah,
Yeah, that's how you gather to back a horse up. That's how you gather to give them a half halt to help their balance.
that makes sense.
But yes, but you have to follow the
Mm,
swing of the back in the canter
okay.
in that position. Okay, so let's do a
Okay.
little bit more of that canter. We'll
Okay.
just come on a circle in the middle of the ring, and we'll do a 10-meter at the trot, a 20-meter circle at the canter. So whenever you want to break to trot, you just make a 10-meter circle. When you're ready to pick up the canter, you make a 20-meter circle.
Whew.
I know, it's a lot.
I need to, in between lessons, look at the volume on the earbuds and how to control it. I need to turn you up a little bit, but
Hmm.
yeah, next time. All right.
Yeah, they're a little bit different on each one. Mine is a button on it.
Okay, so sit back, sit up, sit
Yeah, so
back,
10 meters in the trotting.
10 meters. Good girl. And look between her
Yeah,
ears.
yeah. So her ears may need to look more around the circle for you to see where you're going.
10 meters again.
Yep. Use some outside rein. Yeah, control that shoulder. There, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. She goes, "Woo, those are my hind legs, Mama." Right? So that's why you want to sit in more of a rein back seat. Take
Okay.
a little tiny arch to your low back. Have a little bit of thigh touch the thigh block. Every time you swing forward, your thigh should touch the thigh block. Touch and touch and touch and touch. Yep. And you follow in the seat. There it is. There it is. You feel the balance? It's not slow her down, it's change her balance. Play a little on the outside rein. When she gives, you give. You don't want to just hold. Yeah, see? Because if you just hold, you give her leverage to run. You feel the difference? So turn the shoulder, and then when you feel her give, you give. Right there, give. Yeah, you don't want to just hold on her because that gives her leverage to run. You want to balance her. What would a rein back feel like? Soften. What would a rein back feel like? Soften. Yeah, that's fine. There you go. And then you work on roundness. Yes. What would rein back feel? There's your collected or your more balanced canter, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Play a little on the outside. Play a little on the out. Yes. Use the outside aids and then trot a 10-meter circle. That's a good canter. She could be rounder, but the balance is good, right? That's what we're looking for. Find your left leg, left rein. Bend your left elbow. Yeah, but the trot and the canter do need to be the same speed, though, okay? Think about how fast you went around a circle at the canter. The
Very.
trot should be that same, yes, it should have that same energy to it and be that same speed. And then
Whew.
we'll change rein through your circle and we'll canter the other way.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, this direction, she's going to bend her neck too good. So you have to take your right hand and put it down by that saddle pad, right where your saddle pad attaches to the saddle. Keep your right hand there. Yes, like a side rein. Just set it there. There you go. She goes, "Oh, there it is." Yeah, and 10 meters when you're trotting.
Oh,
That's okay. Yeah, but that's why I want 10 meters when you're trotting. So we're less likely to have that happen. So take your time and come to trot and 10 meters.
okay.
10
10
meters
meters.
trot.
Whew.
Yeah.
Sit up, sit back.
That's 10 meters of the canter. Yeah. There's your frame. You feel this canter? This
This
is
feels
good canter.
better.
Yes, this is good canter. There you go. Yes. You feel the difference in your hips and in your leg? And you're lifting your chest more and you're using all of your core more now, aren't you?
I'm only catching
Yeah.
part of what you're saying. Sorry.
You're using all of your core now. You feel the
Yeah.
difference in your, yes, that's why she's sitting a little more behind. because of how your posture is. This is good. Yeah, and then a trot transition and a 10-meter circle in the trot. Yes. Stay on that circle in the trot. More trot. Come. More trot. Trot and canter should be the same speed. Yeah, right leg, right rein. Right leg, right leg, right leg. There you go. That's right. There you go. You feel this?
That feels better.
Yeah, this is good. There you go. Good. Yeah, right side. There you go. Yeah, keep finding that right rein like a side rein. Really attach your right elbow to your right shoulder blade. Yeah, you have to give her that stability. That's okay. She was counterbent. That's why I want the 10-meter circle before the canter. That helps you bend her. Make another 10 meters and work on that bending. Yeah, yeah. You feel now the shoulders turning?
Yeah.
Now your canter depart. Now your canter and go to 20. Yeah, there you go. See how that just helps her organize a little bit more? Yeah, there you go. Open that inside rein a little bit. Outside hand by the front of the saddle. Let your thigh touch the thigh block when you swing forward, keeping a slight little cow in your back. That's it. Yeah, that's fine. Right leg, right leg. She felt your body change. That's all that was. She felt your posture change, and she lost her balance as a result. This is good now, though, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yes, play on that right rein. Every time that right ear is too high, play on that right rein. There you go. And then when you break to trot, come to 10 meters. That's it. Play on that right rein. Right rein and right rein. Yes, that's it. That's it. That a girl. Good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then walk and tell her she's good. That's a lot of canter today.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was good though. But you see how you have to give her that stability,
Yeah.
and so when she feels too fast in the canter, she's out of balance. So instead of thinking of slowing her down, think of how can I help her balance? And that's where you get a little bit too much like an eventer in how you're sitting, which is a driving seat. That
Gotcha.
tucking of that pelvis gets a little bit too much like a driving seat. So if
Uh,
you sit a little bit more like a gathering seat, she starts to tip her balance
okay.
in a good way. Yeah,
Okay. And gathering is a rein back and it's a little
perfect.
arch
Yes.
as
Yep.
opposed to the other
Yep.
way. So
Yep.
gather and
Yep.
rein back, pushing.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Like you think about like how the eventers all sit with their butt tucked underneath them. It's a
Yeah.
defensive posture because they think the horse might stop, but they're driving the horse forward. And she
What?
doesn't need that. She's got enough go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am being eaten alive by flies.
Oh, we absolutely hear you. Yeah, bugs and flies
Yeah.
here. Whew.
Oh, well, I got all sweaty at the gym and I forgot to put something, fly spray or something on me. Yeah. Yeah. My bad.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Good.
that's a nice little pattern that you can do that it keeps you from staying on the same circle for too long and helps you keep moving through the arena. And
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to like keep track of how many times you've gone left or right. And like that's my warm up most of the time. And what I start doing is my diagonal line becomes a leg yield. My
Nice.
straightaways become a shoulder in or a haunches in. My 20 meters might become 10 meters. And eventually I take my 3 circles and turn them into a 3 loop serpentine. Instead of doing each circle individual, I make a
Oh,
3 loop serpentine to go to the other end of the arena. So you can do a lot to kind of play around with that pattern and let it grow and develop into something a little bit more difficult as your ride is going through. So that's kind of a fun one.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh. Molly, do you want me to let you go for a couple minutes in between?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I had told your mom we'd give you like a half hour in between,
Oh, okay.
but your husband's here, so
Yeah.
how much how much time does she need?
How much time do you want, Mom? Like 10 or 15 minutes or yeah, Mom says like 10 or 15.
Okay, because
If that works for
I'm
you.
planning. Yeah, so I had planned we might need a little more. I'm going to drive home, which takes about 10 minutes.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, nothing's
and
a big deal.
I have to give my horse a quick shower. So,
Sounds good.
yeah, yeah. So maybe a solid 15 minutes.
Sounds good.
All right, awesome. Good
And yeah,
job.
Mom says, yeah, take your time if you need it. Yeah, I didn't know. So yeah, whatever you
Yeah,
need.
yeah. She and I had talked about 30 minutes, so that's kind of was the plan I had.
Okay, that sounds, yeah,
Okay.
sounds
Okay.
good.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, Molly.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Grandpa.
That Come on. We got shit to pick up. Home.